Okay, let's get to 25 and then we'll get started. Don't reduce the number. Let's get to 25 and get started.
Nice.
Yeah, 3 cups in the morning. 21. Okay,
Yeah, it's interesting to see a lot of people from all different time zones here right now. At least some of the folks that I
it's
socialize
important. It's
with. It's really
important.
cool. Yeah.
I mean, like, I know there's a lot of things happening. I know, like, we are not here for a lot of animes for a reason. I hear all the feedbacks, and whenever you tag me, I'm here in the community. It's not we never paid attention. This is the same reality as we being here, like sleeping 3 or 4 hours per day. But what are we doing? We're doing is something to make the better good for the project. That's what we'll be doing. We try to make sure, the project has a bright future and has a scalability and has the capability to go to the next stage rather than we will be struggling to, in the whole bear market. And hopefully we're at the end of bear. Then what takes us to what's next level, what's the next product, and how do we get to the mass adoption? So for the rest of 22 people who ready to wanted to attend but did not attend, I'm not gonna wait for them. I'm gonna go ahead in respect of everybody's time here because these are loyal fans and I really appreciate a lot of familiar faces here. As you know, a couple of days back, we announced our partnership, like integrating Mobland to Byte City. I think that's an important move. And for the folks who don't know about Byte City, so Byte City is a Web 2.5 social entertainment platform. So the benefit for integrating the whole mob ecosystem into the Byte is that brings the whole leverage of open up the world to get mass adoption. Why do I say that? Like mob during the bear especially is a great in the ball is a great thing to start with. I got a lot of traction. Thank you to all of you guys. But in the bears, they made a lot of things harder in terms of collaboration and also getting more people to onboard. It's a little harder to collab with projects and then bring the growth in. And we've been like we've been basically struggling to find a leverage or an angle to get mass adoption so that we don't have to face the challenge, but really contain and extend our consensus of the mafia, which is super strong. And I'm personally 100% believing the mafia, uh, meta mafia's kind of a consensus forward. Uh, but it just needs a place that can for us to leverage the collaboration, a place for us to leverage uh, quote unquote crypto mainstream, even though we're DJ, but crypto mainstream kind of collaboration to see can you believe it's really hard to present ourselves to say, hey, like a finance CZ, you want to collab with the mafia, right? It's gonna be a bit awkward in the bear market, especially under all these legal like looks here and there. So um, we are super excited to see that the bite is getting a lot of traction and being opened up to the mainstream with a lot of collaboration. For example, uh, Bruce Lee and other brands to come as well. And I think bike is getting the mainstream appreciation, and that direction is gaining. But it's very high time for us to, to brief and update our loyal mafia fans about, for this family, we will get every drop what Byte is to deliver. What do I mean by that? Now here is the thing. But we dropped it. We now here I said it, and you guys hear that, and the people who are not attending may not hear that. Right? That's the thing. But for for Byte City, there is going to be a drop of Bruce Lee, and that's one of the biggest IP drop in the industry ever. And as a global icon, especially coming to the July, this is 50th anniversary, and it's the very first time for Byte to bring Bruce Lee into the metaverse. What does it mean for Mob? So every existing center blueprint, every existing center holders sorry, Cinder Pass holders, they would get a 101 of the Bruce Lee drop. For there are also allocated 1,000 Bruce Lee semi collections for our blueprint holders, so they can first come first serve to claim. That's why I want everybody to chime in to this event earlier to listen to this news. On top of that, there also will be drops towards existing center stakers. So we want to reward and appreciate our existing supporters across the time and still sticking around to the community. I think a lot of great people and great suggestions we hear all the time, and we want first of all and foremost, give people you know some goodies. Like let's my sincere hope to see whether we can leverage as an ecosystem, right, through a multiple chain, a multiple metaverse ecosystem to leverage the value prop to the mob where we started. So first of all, I want to get out the door. And secondly, some quick updates on the product side, but we'll circle back with the questions as well, so forth.
Yeah. I think
Uh,
we mentioned, I forgot to mention one thing as well. So, yeah, the blueprint holders, there's 1,000 dedicated of the Bruce Lee drops. First come first serve, of course, with the folks that are more active and engaged in the community. The same, all Cinepass holders also get a Bruce Lee drop, but all the Cinepass holders also get a one-to-one drop of the Byte City Genesis Freement as well.
right.
So
You're right.
all
You're right.
as well, and then the Sinner Stakers will get the Bruce Lee drop as well. So there's 4 different things here, and we'll drop that out in the announcement blog and post it as well, so you can have it, visually present.
Right. 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 You're right. So
Right.
and move forward for the product integration. I think the product integration is moving smoothly. The TPS and all these avatar integration is already, I think, is already done. Now it's in the polish phase right now. So technically speaking, we would expect another month to polish, meaning the rigging of animation and to make sure the two platforms, the visual fidelity level matches. Make sure like the 3D polygons are matching the other 3D polygons. Also for a lot of like a stitching work to be done, so to speak. Uh, but here's the good news, because the position of the Bicity is get to the mainstream adoption. So an alpha here is it's not announced elsewhere that Bicity will be getting a major promotion from one of the biggest phone manufacturers in the world, uh, if not the biggest, so that we will we will see through the Byte integration there'll be a big utility and a big traffic through Byte coming to the mob in the mob world. So this is how we see and as we expect the immediate benefit for the whole community to see the utility coming through the tail of the bear, but take it all the way to the balls. So we we're super excited to see that now people can come in through the funnel of Byte that offers. Like Byte is basically targeting all the funnel, like as wide as possible. But with the narrative and because this is focused coming to the mob as the GTA or as a Dark Side or as a Gotham of the world to engage more and it brings more fun like more users to the ecosystem. But even further, we're working on integration as well on the Cinder token. This, where the Cinder token would be utilized as a shadow market currency or shadow market. I tended to call it black market currency, but shadow market is more a better word to use that as a way for people to purchase a certain varied or a derivative of the asset what you drop across the board. What does it mean? Consider you're purchasing. Consider there is a Spider-Man on the market, but if you want to do a villainized version of Spider-Man, then that costs you sinners. So there's a definite a certain take and a narrative around a certain avatar that were to drop across the Byte and the mob, and the mob will be carrying a consider it a mutant version of BLYC, but it will be villainized version, right? It's Victor Mafia. It's a degen. I think this is the narrative where and the consensus we're pushing here, and that we want to really facilitate that. And that's, I think it's a good, you know, after discussing the Byte side, I think it's a great positioning for us to push forward in that way to bring more engagement and utility and narrative across the board so that we can have more content to be introduced and more asset to be introduced onto the ecosystem.
Yeah, another thing to add there, I think, I did see some conversations in chat about, dilution of assets where we strongly believe and are confident it's the total, it's the total opposite, where now, for example, blueprints can be used cross-platform across multiple different experiences, events, and games. The blueprints stay as it, the supply stays as is, but now that demand for utilizing that mafia narrative or utilizing or wanting those mafia avatars drastically grows with all the Web2 users coming in. This is a crossover platform through the integration, and that brings more eyeballs on the blueprints, for example. And I think this is where maybe some of the community members are getting it wrong, and we just want to clarify that there's just way more exposure on the whole collection, at least on the lowest level, and then a lot more utilities are now coming to life because you can utilize your 3D models to do a bunch of different things, participate in experiences. The whole merging, fusing, and upgrading part really comes into play now because that infrastructure has been built through this integration, and we can really start executing all of that was on the roadmap.
Yeah, there's no dilution. Actually, it's more concentration, to be honest, because all the villainized version, all the mafianized version comes to mob. So it's very clear value prop, and it's a natural logic as a as a natural logic for people to understand. There's a dark side and a bright side of it. Each organization or city, uh, so and that goes to it. I mean, it's like consider it's a mutant version, but now it's a mobnized or a villainized or a mafianized version of it, right? So
Mhm.
it actually brings like more narrative. Like, I mean, if you guys are worried about like a dilution or getting more asset generated, no. Like, let me be very transparent upfront of it. The world, as you know, the world you know about BAYC of the PFP world does not exist anymore. Though that economy, that world has gone. The whole stage has shifted. We are moving on to the actual utility world. It's no longer about okay, oh, I can just pump and dump and the main thing. That is the easy piece. That's easy piece. The key thing to prepare in the bear, and we are all in this whole ship together, guys. We're in this thing together. We need the way is not about hey like a who and who did this and we just copy what it is. No, it's not about that. It's about we prepare ourselves in the bear. We keep on building, keep on sleeping 3 to 4 hours a day and building in the bear so that at the tail of the bear we can launch and make big announcement and in the ball we can thrive together. That's the goal. It's not the goal for like hey let's just do quick and pump and dump. No, if you're looking for pump and dump, this is not the project here. I'll make it very clear. It's not. So we really want to, deliver. There's all the ways for us to through the times of the years. We can just pump and dump. We could walk away. We don't have to care. That's not what's happening here. We've been sticking around. We've been delivering. We are trying to build a bigger ecosystem. That's what it is about. So
And it's an ecosystem that should go way beyond the Web3 because it's like really difficult to build a platform or an ecosystem just for a small sample set of, a geo or a community. Whereas targeting the UA that we're targeting really large numbers, we have to ensure that the platform can handle it and it's built and it's quote unquote engaging and fun, as that is very subjective for a lot of people, right? But we try time all the ends wherever we can, and this is why we've been taking our time, but not taking our time and moving slow, but taking our time because trying, doing our best to do things right. And I think we're right on the other side of it right now where we can really start unveiling all of these things with this integration.
right. So should we open the stage a bit for anybody who has any questions? I see there are 26 people in there. Thank you so much for showing up.
Sure. Another thing too, I want to point out because I think there were certain people, and there was a little bit of confusion in chat when I was reading through chat, be like, it means that hey, Mobland is becoming Byte City. That's not the case. The
Oh, it's not the
TPS
case.
still goes on. The raid and attack still goes on. That is still being built. In fact, what will happen is a lot of the foot traffic and a lot of the eyeballs coming into Byte City through these major brands, which, as Roy mentioned, will not associate with the mafia area. Now we get exposure to these brands, and we're talking about tens, if not hundreds of millions of actual active users. realistically to then, we can then drive CTAs towards Mob, and then Mob, CTAs can be integrated by City and different activations, and you guys can utilize your assets in all of these major activations as well. And that sparks a lot of curiosity about what Mobland is, and then what the TPS is, and how the TPS will be utilized, and people get exposure to TPS as well. So just want to put it out there that, hey, this is not like, it's merging, but this is an integration where we get to uh, get all the bells and whistles coming from all of these big brand partnerships and get exposure on Mob. So like, really want to put that out there.
Yeah, think about you. Mobland is Harry Potter, right? It's big, it's cool, it's great. Now, now Harry Potter is getting integrated into Universal Studio Hollywood. You
So
get all the people trying to participate because of brand, because experience, and then that gets because of the generic funnel, it gets all the traffic as big as possible. Hopefully that analogy makes sense. So
also,
should we?
maybe if we can give them a little bit of a timeline, right, as we discussed, as we did our the plan, what's the plan? The integration is
Yeah.
almost right now this month.
So the
Expectation of when TPS can probably go live publicly as well.
yeah, the integration is done. Like I said, the stitching in the process now. So normally I'd expect based on the speed of the team, I think it's probably take another month to make sure it fits. Like I said, like a polygon fits, optimization fits, right? There's different file size to tap into different platforms together, different version numbers of of the engine to get matched up. So there's stitching, but also optimization to make sure the performance matches across the board, and so on and so forth. That I expect that TPS version as of now we see it's working, but we see it could be better with a month of polish. So I would say expecting the release early September, waiting Byte.
Cool, cool. Thank you for that. All right, I'm gonna get a few people on stage. Just to ask you a couple of questions. I'll start with him here. Oh, that worked. I think somebody dropped off my Earth. Oh, there
Oh,
we. Yeah, I've invited. There we go. Hey, loud and
yes.
clear.
Oh, so it's Netherlands. Oh,
Mhm.
oh.
Are
So
you talking
several
about
things here.
topic on? Sorry, you're just asking where to get them because you were breaking up on my side. Is that what?
See, but it's like not the blueprints like I want to buy. So like
R-
it's a little bit,
right,
yeah.
right.
So I don't know
That's
if there's some yeah.
yeah, that's a very good thing. And thanks for updating me on that. This is the part I forgot to mention. Uh, yeah, yeah, that's what he said. Binance is blocking. I'm reading from the text. Blocking the use from Netherlands. That's I mean, I think that's a very good point to bring up. And we are working with the multiple BNB marketplaces other than Binance. I mean,
Okay.
actually, we have a constant update with the Binance side. I think the information from our side is they're under close watch by the regulation, and
Yeah.
and I think we're moving away from. I think it's a good move for us is move away from Binance Marketplace because there's too much restriction here and there, and it's just like unnecessary. I mean, we're a small fish to the regulation war, right? Why do we even go into that? The right solution
Mm.
is one is move away from Binance Marketplace to another marketplace. We're currently in talk with is called Element Market, which is one of
Mm.
the leading and a BNB based marketplace in the space, and we're working closely with them. And they have decent volume and on BNB side. Uh, so we'll see. I think thanks for bringing this up to our attention. We see how we migrate existing asset listed out there to there from Binance Marketplace to Element. Thanks for give us a heads up. We'll communicate and bring that attention to bring that feedback to the community. So thanks for the heads up on that.
Okay, and my second question is there like a possibility for your farms to upgrade it to like only like plant 2 times a day? Because yeah, I think like 3 times a day, I think, yeah, I tried it, but it's not, yeah, I don't know, for me it's not working. So I don't know if you got the possibility to like upgrade your farm even that you can plant 2 times a day and you pay like an additional like but for it to upgrade it.
So
Is that
what's
like a possibility?
I'll take this one.
Well,
So we
like,
talked about Roy. He's talking about the wheat farms, right? You have to plant
okay.
a couple times a day, and
yeah, like
we
I think
discussed
like
this
three,
internally. I've had this discussion as well with the team, and basically
yeah,
we
well, I think,
introduced something like
hmm,
auto planting. They said they might be down to do it based on on the integration and the kind of tools and products we're adding there. But if
yeah,
that update happens, if they agree to go with it, which they're still discussing, that won't happen anytime in July, or it'll be probably mid to late August if that update happens. I just want to put it out there because right now I'll focus in on the integration. But yes, you
that's fine.
and quite a few other people have reached out with that suggestion, so we're definitely considering that.
Yeah.
And if doable, we'll
Okay.
definitely make it happen.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay, like
I and
yeah.
I really one thing I can say that I really appreciate that our community's engagement and planning. I think we have very sophisticated farming mechanics across the ecosystem, and I really enjoy that, especially considering the shadow market comes into the integration of the whole ecosystem, where all these things can happen, and all these assets or currencies, being the shadow market, can circulate underneath underneath the bright side of the city. That is something I think is that people may not aware how much potential it is. Once
Mhm.
we finish the integration, open up the black market and shadow market for people to understand, hey, there's a variant, modern, mineralized asset, or in this dark side of the city or the dark side of the world that people can utilize. That is the aspirational piece that everybody coming in, and that's is when the bull market hits. That's where people will say, "Hey, holy shit! There's another shortcut behind the back door to for me to grab these assets. I never heard of it. I never saw that before." So this is the things that I mean, if anything I can address this, I think I'm super bullish on that.
Okay. I okay, let's make it the third part question is like in a couple of weeks I'm going on holiday, but like for example, I don't got the turf, but I got land, like I got farms. Can I like just post it like for do you have like an extra option that you can post your farms? Like is it like, hey, I'm out of town, I got like for example an X amount of farms, but I don't got a turf. Can I let them out like to have like a little bit extra, yeah, they can make an extra little bit but like with the provider of turf.
Sorry, I didn't
It's
get
just
that.
like,
Sorry, could you
well,
please?
like no, like I think if you got farms but you don't got the turf, but you go on
Uh-huh.
holiday, so like yeah, so you're like you can just can stake your farms, but in the meantime, yeah, it would be nice to like make a little bit extra out of the farms and only stake them. So can you offer them to to the turf owners to make a little bit extra butt out of that?
The lending
You get the
company,
option.
I don't think that feature exists at the moment, lending it out when on the just the turf owners, but let me confirm with the team unless I'm missing something here and probably hit
Okay.
you in chat again.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Good. Would be nice. Well, like I'm done. Like, thank you for the answers. Like,
Sure, and
thank
thank you
you.
so much coming. Thanks so much for coming from Netherlands. It's I
Yeah.
really appreciate it, and to see our community extend that far. I really appreciate that. And you can see now we're at a stage we're all ready. Like it takes you know quite some time to get all these foundation laid, and I'm super excited now to touch base again with our community, even with the close partners at TRT, and also for our community members from Netherlands. Super excited, and thank you so much for Mayes.
you.
Am I saying that right? Mayes? Mayars?
Who?
Your
Myers?
name? Myers?
What?
Your
Myers.
name?
Yeah, I like Myers. Yeah, I
Oh.
like.
Sorry for my yeah. Yeah, thanks so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah, thanks for all the questions and
Thank you.
feedback. Really helpful. Anybody else have any questions, any feedback, please come up on stage. If you want to type them out in chat, happy to do that too and read chat as well. We're here and happy to take those on. Yes, no more questions. Oh, I see Havoc with one. There we go. What's the time in Australia right now?
The time is currently 5:30 in the morning, guys.
Damn, good morning.
You're waking up early or you did not sleep.
Oh no, I woke up early for this.
An hour schedule. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Always.
Most welcome. Hey, just a quick one. What's happening for people who have staked their SIN passes and blueprints? Will we still be eligible to participate in this, or do we need to unstake them?
I want to confirm that with the team, but pretty confident we want to ensure that even the people that have staked are eligible for it. So I can get back to you with the details on this today.
So, also, what happens if you've got staked more than one SIN pass? Does that still work, or?
Yeah, SIN pass will get a 101.
But if you've staked more than one, though, can you get more than one, or
exactly?
is it
Yeah,
You have 10 sinner passes, you get 10 drops.
10.
It's one.
Exactly.
Fantastic.
Mhm.
Time to buy up.
For sure. I mean, I'm very excited to be able to utilize this blueprints, not just in TPS now, but across a lot of different crossover IP. Some of you have had exposure to Byte City so far through our partnership announcement, maybe some of you prior to that. But really, there's so much coming up on the Byte City IP and crossover side. Just to let you know, this drops that you're getting, that the mob community is getting right now, is limited to certain blue chips in the industry as well. Roy, this is something we didn't mention. I don't know if you can mention those names yet or not, but it'll be really cool to see that mob community is getting the same drops as the top leading blue chips in the space as well. And we hope to bring more exposure to Mobland and the mob community through these kind of collaborations.
Yeah, next week you'll be expecting just to pay attention. We'll just be making announcements here and there, but you'll be seeing our collab with the blue chips and going forward.
Yeah, and the leading manufacturers in the world as well. So I'm very excited for this.
Yeah.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, anybody have any other questions or any feedback as well? Feedback will be great too. Based on everything or anything else you guys have, so we can definitely put it on the plan and put the team on execution. Right, I guess they're all good at the moment. Anything else from you? From Tiki? Anything from you, sir? No, he still can't hear you. Still having the tech difficulty. Sorry,
Yeah,
I don't
right.
know if you can hear him.
Yeah. But what I can say, guys, have time. If you have time, go to Byte.city and Byte City's Discord and Twitter. Take a look there. We'll be active there as well to coordinate multiple announcements and refer back here. It's super important to keep the dark side of the city and the bright side of the city operating and shifting here and there. And they're really excited for us to build a kind of digital kind of the real. Honestly, I really hope that we can build. My goal is to build, the whole community for the real metaverse out here. Like regardless of what people are doing on the other side, because nobody's really delivering. So we're really excited to see now things are actually moving forward and they really deliver a tight product for people to not only just to hype about it, but also can utilize about it. That's the whole thing is about utilization, and that's all these things to build on top of it. So
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. I think I see a couple of other questions. Do we need to claim the new drops? Yeah, it's a free drop. You guys have to claim it for sure. And you'll get all this in writing as AB said. That's true. And Joe asked update about the Byte asset. Yes, we previously updated that. Since they're not supporting what we want, we are going to be airdropping these assets as soon as this integration is done. Because now you can, like we said, it's not just PFPs. Even with blueprints, you guys have seen it's full 3D playable models, including the weapons that are, that are on Byte as well. Those will be 3D as well, and all of these can be dropped with the Byte integration now. So that's what we're waiting for, and now we can unveil all these assets, including the couple launch NFTs, because it again not just a PFP. This will be playable avatars and assets that you can now integrate in Mobland and Byte together. Okay, I see one more question. We'll take this last one, Roy. You down for it?
Yeah.
Cool. You're welcome, Joe.
Hey, sorry to come on stage again, but like in the future, which change you're going to onboard for Mobland, if I may ask? Is there already like a plan for that?
We will be doing multi chains. So with the infra,
Multi-chain.
yeah, with the infra integration to Byte, and that enables us to open up the multi-chain policy, multi-chain like a strategy, and also we establish our partnership through Byte with Zeta Chain, these interoperable omni-chain perspective. So that gets us asset, and the future means and creations, can be interoperable or some also, but for the flexibility to have multi-chain to access multi-chain liquidity as well. As you can see, for Byte side is announcing the partnership with all the various of chains or layer ones or marketplaces. That basically open doors for Mob to have the future liquidity and the avenues to get to access to these chains.
Yeah, like recently we announced multiple partnerships on the Byte side for with Sui for Missing Labs, with Solana, with Polygon. I think was it yesterday before there was an AMA on the Polygon Discord server. Solana main page, the main Solana account with 2.2 million has been retweeting and engaging. So you can just see, the kind of exposure that we're already getting on that side, and now all that exposure can, of course, there's also already ongoing talks to ensure that Mobland gets the same exposure, if not more or less, right? Like that's our goal here, and that's what we're waiting for Byte City to be unveiled with IP and brands. And this is where now we see we can kick things off together, like Roy said, the dark side and the bright side of the meta.
Is it only on like the MetaMask wallet, or are you going to also implement other wallets? Like
There will be other wallets. So the team is working on an infra that works with 6 or 7 different like wallet. You can just depending whichever chain you want to use, and they can just integrate and load it up. That perspective.
Uh,
okay, yeah.
I see the question on the text. Oh, sorry. Go on.
Okay, thank you.
All
You're
right,
welcome.
thank you.
I see one in
So-
general chat, which we totally forgot to mention, Roy, about the stake sinner. I'm just reading chat right now. Yes, we are going to be aligning with there's an allocation for the drop for the briefly drop as well. Correct me if I'm
Yeah,
wrong.
we mentioned that early on. We mentioned that early on. Like stake center holders will have a first come first serve allocation for the Bruce Lee drop as well, which will be announced soon.
Yeah, just that criteria for that sinner, we still have to unveil that, so we're working on that and we'll bring that forward.
Yeah.
But so there's the sinner pass with a staked or unstaked, there's a blueprint with a staked or unstaked, there's the sinner staked as well, and the blueprint holders. I think I mentioned that already.
Right.
And then the sinner pass holders are getting the Byte City Genesis mint and the Bruce Lee drop as well.
Yeah.
And by the way, there's an AMA with Bruce Lee's daughter, Shannon Lee, in Byte City on Tuesday at 5 p.m. PST. It would be really cool to see my community there represent. Excuse me. Very soon, all of these AMAs will be held inside Byte City, which we have already been testing out. We're going to be creating a Mobland lounge there, so you guys can utilize all your blueprint assets to engage. Think of Disco stages, but now with your blueprint avatar 3D inside the Mobland lounge, you can engage, you can get drops in there, you can use emotes, you can get on stage, off stage, to just be very sure that Mobland will get all the bells and whistles through this integration as one of the earliest adopters and partners alongside certain blue chips as well. So that brings my exposure overall. So personally very excited about this. Very, very excited.
Yeah.
Cool, folks. I think that was it. If you guys have any other questions, tag us in chat, of course. Happy to have discussions, get feedback, jump on AMAs again, wherever, whenever possible as well. And please spread this word about, the announcements we made today, because I know a lot of folks that are not here do have these assets. It'd be nice to, update them as well. We'll be sharing this officially. And, we hope to see this really like grow much faster now with all these announcements. Cool. Anything else, Roy, before we wrap this up?
No, just keep a close watch on the both Twitters and Discords, and talk soon.
For sure. Sounds good. Well, thanks everyone for attending. GG. And we'll catch
Thank
up
you.
in chat. If you have anything, tag us, y'all. Take care. Have a good one.